Luli, and one of my greatest role models, one in the Quake game. The headmaster of Greytown High School, Meneer Scholes, the S&T, staff members, members of the governing body, selectively, the Honorable Chairman, Mr. Zone, former head prefects of Greytown High School, selectively, Mr. Mpumelelo Zone, and Mr. Ntando Major, parents and scholars of Greytown High School, ladies and gentlemen, greetings to one and all. Serving the school at the highest position awarded to any students in 2019 has not only been a pleasure, but an honor. After my inauguration on the 2nd of November 2018, I was asked what leadership was, and I didn't have an answer at that time. But today I can tell you that leadership is more than just authority, but rather service, helping others to prosper with your guidance and supervision. My journey to such a position of high impact started a long time ago. From aiming high at Greytown Junior School, all we could see was the school on the hill, Greytown High School. I was groomed by some of the best people you could ever meet, men and women who groomed me and raised me up and made me ready to become an elephant. The likes of Mrs. Chetty, who just recently became the acting headmaster of Greytown Junior School after the retirement of Mr. Now, Mr. Khair Season, my first prefect mother, and Mr. Stanzik, who introduced me to rugby. I remember in 2014, coming towards the end of our last year in primary, we were so eager to be enrolled in Greytown High School, eager to take our first steps to being warriors. I remember as we stood in the gates on our first day with our baggy long pants, our oversized shirts, golden navy ties around our necks, navy blazers with the belt and elephant in our chest. This was the beginning of the greatest signs of our lives thus far. I remember after our first week, I was ready to pack my bag and go back home to Greytown Junior School. But I find it difficult today to say goodbye. I made a vow to myself that I would not go back to Greytown Junior School until I had something that would make the staff back there proud of me. On the 7th of January 2019, I went back to Greytown Junior School, and to see how proud they were of me made me understand how far I'd come from just a little boy to the leadership of such a great school. It is difficult to say goodbye for me because over the years we've created bonds, friendships, brotherhoods and relationships, some too strong to even dare to break. For me, Greytown High School is not just a school, but also a home, a growth point, because within these walls I found a father, a mother, and brothers and sisters of different ethnic groups. GHS does not just give you an education, but the very basics of life beyond school. It gives one the right to become anything and everything they aspire to become. A force to be reckoned with. Greytown High School has been the most, trust me. To come to think about it, we have most probably been the worst group to walk the corridors of Greytown High School. And to tell you the truth, we're not proud of such a reputation. To the teachers we've put on stress medication and made cry, the S&T we've frustrated, the scholars we've set a bad example for, and Mr. Scholes, who each and every one of us can make claim to at least one of the grey hairs on your head. We are very sorry, and we will make you proud, even if it's the last thing we do. Well, there's so many people that have had an impact in my life. Forgive me if I don't include you in my speech, the time I have is quite short. One thing I've learned is that you don't need to go into a labor room and give birth to a child to become a mother. This could have most probably been the most difficult year of my schooling career, considering that I didn't stay with my parents. But pulling through was possible because I had a mother away from home, my job. Mama, you raised my spirit every time when I was prepared to hand in my badge. You've played two major roles in my life so well that you occupy a corner of my heart which can never be replaced by no man or no woman. You've become the second most important woman in my life, and I can never stop being grateful for your presence in my life. Job. I love you. I think that everybody has had an impact in my life, some positively, while others negatively. But all of you have made me the man I am today. So gratitude goes out to so many people. The prefect group as a whole, most importantly, Kiara Theva, our deputies that pushed us forward, Emily and Scotty, my partner and equal in office bearing, who made my days fly smoothly in Greytown High School, my boss, Spin the Spong is in Jazempili, about bed dad, abashayi bencwadi, oBafo, oKhabazela, oCele. Sibonga abaphathi bohlelo ezingafihli ukuthi sofazwile, uMaseli noNjabulo. Nalaba besiphathela ukudla besibhakela amakhekhe, amahle nesiningi, sithanda ukubonga. Ngeke sibakhohlwe umakhelwane, uBulelwa, uSenani, uAsana. The people who made my afternoon walks awesome, besibiza nge-fun walk, SK, uSpiko, noBaba. Siphinde sibonge kwaMazibuko, koMwelasi, ningi obengeke kwenzeka ngaphandle kwakho Nkosazana. Sibonge lapha kuNokwane. You've always had my back and pulled me out of a living hell. Sometimes it felt like you're the only person who could get to me. The teachers who always came through for us, the likes of Mrs. Plenty, who could turn our English classes into dope history lessons in a blink of an eye, giving us daily life lessons and increasing our general knowledge. The lady who saw a leader in me when I couldn't, who believed in me when I didn't. I most probably failed to be the next Pumelelo Zone, but I hope I was the first Pumelelo too. Mr. Apani, who we didn't know for almost half the year, but came to our help when we were in a state of emergency. You made us believe once again, Minyer, in a better and brighter future. Thank you, Minyer. And to our prefect mother, who we disappointed so very much, we're really grateful for your leadership. Thanks, mother. Masenfia Winder Kamatod, Ipubes, Numgag, Minyer Scholes en Mevrouw Scholes. Ons is dankbaar voor al die keren wat jullie ons die matriek sal help het. Terwijl ik zelf praat, kan ik nooit die diepte van jullie impact in mijn leven voorstellen nie. Ik heb altijd gezegd dat die twee grootste leerders in mijn leven ontmoet het, is mijn pa en meneer Scholes. Jullie leerskap is nog altijd de voorbeeld voor ons en jullie dagelijks aanhalings wat in de toekomst gemist zal worden. Jullie albei was oors voor 1000 mensen wat deur jullie handen gegaan het. En ik is blij dat ik een van die mensen was. Ik wens jullie alles van die beste, toe jullie hierdie nieuwe hoofdstuk neem. Net soos ons op ons eie pad loop, mag die Here jullie poging zien en mag ons in die nabije toekomst weer vaar kry. To my mother and to my father, I can't really start to say thank you to you. I don't think there are any words that could ever, in the vocabulary, there's no words that could really express how grateful I am. To my mom, I don't know what to say, man. Like, you look back to the time when I was in primary. I remember the time when I had lost when you bought me new school shoes, I lost them and had to go back to old school shoes. But you bought me new shoes again without me even asking. Man, I don't know, man, I don't know. My dad, you taught me the greatest lessons in life. You taught me how to be a man. You taught me the things that you do when you have a wife and how you treat women. I can never stop being grateful for who you are, Dad. And you taught me one greatest thing, is that you don't need to have money to be a man. You told me one thing, is that every guy can be a father, but it takes a special man to be a dad. Thanks, Tyrone. My final message to the school. I am broken by the thoughts of leaving the school at the end of the year. Not because I don't want to experience life outside the walls of the school, but solely because I could have and should have done more for the school. For the school and at the school. What sits at the very top of the stage is a navy flag with a golden badge. The same badge that sits on your chest. Take pride in the badge, because when it comes down to it, this is your school, this is your pride, and this is your passion. For you have the navy blood, you have the golden spirit, and you have the heart of an elephant. One belt, one elephant, one badge, one school, Greytown High School. Once a warrior, always a warrior. And so to you, I want to leave these final words of Les Brown, and it reads as follows. I dedicate this to you, to the greatness in you, and to the dream that you showed up on a planet to produce. And it is simply this. If you want something bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream of and scheme of is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, if you simply go after the thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope and confidence and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, famine, nor gout, sickness nor pain of body and brain can keep you from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you beseech and beset it, with the help of God you will get it, because you have greatness in you. My younger brothers and sister here at school, Sia and Don, you guys are like twin siblings to me. So as I walk out on the 26th, I leave the family name in your hands. So remember, whatever you do, good or bad, will either make or break the family name. So keep it cool, keep it going, and write the family legacy. Busizwe, uyi-future ntwana, so clean and good, ubekhaba bhekeni. And don't ever look down on yourself or underestimate your potential or capabilities. As I conclude, to the class of 2019 and to our parents, Mr. Zondi once said, the only constant we have in life is change. We have reached the very end of our roads, and now it is time for change. And so I leave you with the words of the headmaster of a school in Singapore to the parents and scholars, and they read as follows. The exams of your child are to start soon. I know you are anxious for your child to do well, but please bear this in mind. Amongst the students who are sitting for the exams, there is an artist who doesn't need to understand maths. There is an entrepreneur who doesn't care about history or English literature. There is a musician whose chemistry marks won't matter. There is an athlete whose physical fitness is more important than their physics results. If your child does get top marks, that's great. But if he or she doesn't, please don't take away their self-confidence and dignity from them. Tell them it's okay, it's just another exam, and that they are cut out for much more bigger things in life. Tell them, no matter what they score, you will love them and will not judge them. And please, do not think that doctors and engineers are the only happy people in life. I think you've heard me say this quote once or twice, a quote by Bishop T.D. Jakes. It is not the movement of the clock that produces the newness of life, it is the movement in your mind. I'm sad to say goodbye to Greytown High School without my brother on my side, Ukabeli Mkhize. May his soul rest in peace. And so, my fellow matriculants, I urge you not to allow other people's metrics of success become or determine yours. May God bless you all, and may God bless Greytown High School. I thank you.